In the aftermath of World War II, the geopolitical landscape had shifted dramatically, leaving the United States confronting an evolving world where power dynamics were in flux. President Harry S. Truman, recognizing the necessity to adapt to these changes, took bold steps toward establishing a centralized organization to address intelligence shortcomings. This period marked the genesis of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, founded in 1947. Truman's vision for the CIA was informed heavily by the perceived intelligence gaps that had contributed to the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. There was an urgent need for a central, coordinated system to collect and analyze intelligence from across the globe. However, Truman's outlook was not primarily about covert operations. Rather, he saw the CIA as a global news service aimed at gathering and synthesizing comprehensive information to inform policymakers. Truman was particularly wary of the notion of a clandestine spy apparatus, believing that the war of information should be fought with transparency and accuracy. The notion of a global news service stemmed from Truman's continuous struggle to balance the open dissemination of information with the necessary secrecy that came with intelligence work. He envisioned the CIA as an agency that could prevent future surprises by keeping lines of communication open and providing an accurate global situational awareness. Yet, as the Cold War era began, this idealistic vision was challenged. The burgeoning mid-20th century geopolitical tensions gradually pushed the agency into undertaking covert operations, which would later define its public image and shape its controversial legacy. Truman's initial plans for a neutral and informative agency became sidetracked by the urgency of containing the Soviet threat, leaving the agency embroiled in various covert activities that sometimes deviated from its original purpose. Thus, the CIA's legacy was built on the tension between its envisioned role and the pressures of the evolving global landscape. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, was established in the aftermath of World War II with the principal mission of preventing surprise attacks akin to Pearl Harbor. Intelligence gathering and consistent surveillance are integral to this mission, aiming to preempt events such as the tragedies witnessed on September 11, 2001. The success of intelligence operations lies in the ability to piece together fragmented data into a cohesive analysis that can predict and prevent such calamities. One of the pivotal questions surrounding intelligence is, what lessons can be derived from failures like 9/11? Despite extensive intelligence gathering, the failure to connect the dots resulted in one of the most catastrophic terrorist attacks in history. This incident exposed significant gaps in communication and coordination among agencies, highlighting the need for reform and rehabilitation of intelligence protocols. Enhanced interagency collaboration, improved information sharing across both local and global spectrums, and the integration of more advanced analytical technologies have since become pivotal. Analyzing the CIA's track record reveals a mosaic of triumphs and setbacks. While numerous planned attacks have been successfully foiled owing to timely intelligence, others have slipped through the cracks, leading to devastating consequences. These lapses often reveal deficiencies in the interpretation of intelligence or in the execution of preventive measures. Moving to the more human element of covert operations, the world of espionage is replete with tales of bravery, betrayal, and sacrifice. CIA operatives and foreign informants work tirelessly, often in anonymity, to gather crucial intelligence. Their endeavors underscore the personal cost of working in espionage, characterized by psychological strain, prolonged absences from family, and the omnipresent threat to personal safety. The intrinsic risk involved stands as a testament to their commitment. Espionage often draws people into situations where loyalty is tested, friendships falter, and the specters of moral and ethical dilemmas loom large. Stories of agents coerced into betrayal or double agents operating in a gray zone form the essence of many covert missions. These accounts serve as poignant reminders of the personal sacrifices made, revealing the delicate balance between duty and personal conviction. In sum, the world of intelligence and covert operations is a complex and multifaceted domain. While missions like preventing surprise attacks remain at its core, they also reveal the profound personal costs borne by those enmeshed in espionage. The duality of intelligence work, as a tool of global security and a profession demanding immense personal sacrifice, calls for deep reflection and continuous adaptation. In the shadowy corridors of power, where whispers hold more weight than declarations, the Central Intelligence Agency and the Oval Office have engaged in a dance both intricate and fraught with tension. From President Eisenhower to President George W. Bush, each administration's tenure escalated the complex relationship, often entangling intelligence operations in the web of political interference. The CIA was born in 1947 as a bastion for intelligence gathering, free from political bias or influence. However, the reality of its existence has frequently contradicted its idealistic purpose. Under President Eisenhower, the CIA was notably aggressive, reflecting the Cold War's urgency. Eisenhower, though supportive, often pressured the CIA to achieve quick results, leading to interventions in Iran and Guatemala that left lasting scars. John F. Kennedy's handling of the Bay of Pigs invasion revealed the damaging consequences of political oversight. Misguided by advice and eager for a swift success, Kennedy's involvement led to failure and humiliation. Seething distrust followed, and the president distanced himself from Langley, reshaping his reliance on intelligence. Then came Lyndon B. Johnson's Vietnam dilemma. With a growing entanglement in Southeast Asia, intelligence estimates were manipulated to suit political narratives, ensuring public and congressional support. Here, the CIA found itself a tool rather than an advisor, hampering its effectiveness and fueling internal dissent. The Watergate era under Nixon, often synonymous with secrecy and deceit, fostered further suspicion. The CIA's role was scrutinized, its independence questioned. Gerald Ford and subsequent presidents, including Jimmy Carter, grappled with restoring its reputation, introducing reforms aimed at curbing misuse. A new dawn appeared under Ronald Reagan, where the CIA regained prominence, but not without political strings attached. Urgency in countering communism globally saw covert operations stretch across continents. Though effective in short-term wins, as seen in Afghanistan, long-term repercussions were underestimated, leading to mixed triumphs and failures. The post-Cold War era under Clinton attempted a strategic pivot towards counterterrorism, yet political maneuverings concerning budget cuts dulled the agency's sharpness. Intelligence warnings about emerging threats often fell on deaf ears amidst bureaucratic reshuffling. George W. Bush's presidency saw the CIA at a crossroads. Post 9/11, it faced scrutiny and blame for intelligence failures, igniting debates on reforms versus more control. Political pressures during the Iraq War again highlighted the vulnerabilities when intelligence is bent to fit policies rather than inform them. This historical tug-of-war illustrates a pattern where the CIA's efficacy fluctuated as political priorities shifted. Each administration left its mark, often leaving the agency struggling to balance independence with the necessity of relevance in the political realm. In the not-so-distant future, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, finds itself at a crossroads. As global threats evolve, so too must the methods and strategies that govern the intelligence community. The challenges facing the CIA are numerous, from the shadowy realms of cyber warfare to the ever-persistent threat of terrorism. Yet, as formidable as these obstacles may be, the most crucial challenge lies in the CIA's ability to maintain public trust. To adapt to this rapidly changing landscape, the CIA must first embrace a culture of transparency. No longer can clandestine activities exist in the shadows without accountability. The times demand that the CIA opens its cloak of secrecy just enough to assure the world of its ethical integrity and adherence to the rule of law. Clear communication about its objectives and a commitment to safeguarding human rights are pivotal steps in this direction. Additionally, the agency must redefine its approach to cyber warfare. The battlefield is digital, and the CIA must recruit talent that's adept not only in coding and counter-hacking but also in predicting cyber threats before they manifest. Creating partnerships with leading tech companies and fostering cooperation with international intelligence agencies can provide a more unified front against cyber adversaries. As terrorism remains a menacing reality, the CIA needs to innovate its counterterrorism strategies. This involves deploying more advanced surveillance tools that respect privacy concerns while being effective. Machine learning and AI can play transformative roles in predicting suspicious activities, yet human oversight remains essential to prevent biases inherent in technological solutions. Public trust is built through reliability, integrity, and transparency. The agency must work relentlessly to engage with communities and make clear distinctions between intelligence and surveillance. Public forums and educational programs can help demystify the agency's work and promote an understanding that intelligence is a necessity for national security. In this evolving global landscape, the CIA must adopt a new mantra: adapt or become obsolete. By integrating transparency, cutting-edge technology, ethical operations, and community engagement into its core, the CIA not only aims to address modern threats effectively, but also proves itself a trustworthy guardian in the eyes of the public. In doing so, it secures its relevance in a world where the definition of security is in constant flux.